Hey there, everyone. How are you? This is Nikki Tobias with Grounded Vision Coaching. We had kind of a hectic day here in Georgia, and some things happened. And I don't know, tonight I just kind of had this epiphany about what happened today, and I figured I'd share it. So that's what I do, right? On a quick side note, some folks that know me and who have experienced me coaching or teaching talk about these times when I kind of get on my soapbox and I get in rare form and kind of wound up and on a soapbox. And they've been urging me to do it on one of these videos, which, you know, I love and it's awesome because it's so totally me. But you can't like reenact or manufacture a soapbox. So I'm kind of waiting for a situation to happen that I have a soapbox about that gets me wound up to be able to share that kind of fervor and enthusiasm. So I will continue to think about ways that I could get on my soapbox and share that passion with you. But in the meantime, today what I wanted to talk to you about was I was out at a coffee shop and all over Georgia there were tornado warnings, not just watches, but warnings. And while I was at the coffee shop, everybody's phone kind of started beeping and buzzing and vibrating and dinging, and it was a tornado warning, and there was reports, there were reports that a tornado had touched down like south of Atlanta, and other reports that a tornado had touched down north of where I was. Kind of incredible, kind of surreal that all that was happening, and that it was, you know, daylight. I think it was 2 o'clock this afternoon. And the coffee shop happens to be surrounded in windows, so it probably wasn't the safest place to be. But I did something you shouldn't do, and I got in my car to get home to the dogs and to be here in case anything happened. I have a lot of trees around my house, and I just felt like I'd be safer here. But tonight, as I was thinking about tornado warnings and this sense that the message you get is that there's a tornado warning and shelter in place. Shelter in place. And I thought about what a great analogy for life that is, right? That sometimes our lives feel like a tornado. It feels like all these things are spinning around us. Our heads are spinning. Things are spinning around us. There's so much stress. There's so much overwhelm. There's things to do. There's unanticipated grieving, loss of a job. You know, the toilet breaks. Your kid breaks their arm. Things happen all the time. Your car breaks down. You get a flat tire out on the highway. And it can feel like the world is just spinning around you so fast and so strong. And I thought that advice about sheltering in place was so good. It's so right for our lives. And here's what I mean about that. What do we do in the event of some sort of tornado warning, and you hear the sirens? There were sirens at this coffee shop that I was at, and you hear these sirens, and they say shelter in place. What do? You collect all your family. You might collect some of your most important things. And then you collect these necessities, right? People might collect a flashlight or a radio or batteries or some water. And you go somewhere safe. Hi, Miss Katie. And so I thought, if we're in this tornado of life, if we feel like our life is sort of spinning around us, right? And you can imagine sort of debris, the debris of your life spinning around you. And hearing that phrase, shelter in place, means gather your people, gather your family, gather your friends, gather those resources. And then you think about collect those other resources. Get a flashlight. You get a radio. You collect the batteries. And my connection to all that is in the middle of that life tornado, when you have your family and your friends, those people that are closest to you around you, you can weather the storm together. And then if you have a flashlight, you can shine a light. You can assess the damage. You can look in those dark places. You have this sort of backup electricity. You have some water for sustenance. You might have a radio so that you can collect more information. We have batteries so we can keep these things going. So what in your life, in the middle of that sort of life spiraling tornado, who are your people? Who are those friends? Who are those family that you want to shelter in place with? What serves as your flashlight? What shines a light on the things that are difficult? What serves as your batteries or your water, those things that keep you going? What serves as that radio where you get all that information, right? That live information. So now we don't have to guess and we don't have to assume. We're collecting legitimate data, right? So then what do? You're sheltering in place with your family and your closest friends. You have these resources that you grabbed, maybe some of your prized possessions, and you ride out the storm. You ride out the storm. You shelter in place and you ride out the storm. And then when the storm has gone by, what do? We assess the damage. We shine the light. We assess the damage. We figure out what situation we're in. In that tornado of life, what is happening? Where is the debris? Where might we have some nicks and scrapes and cuts? Where are the trees down, right? We have to assess the damage. Then we make a plan. We make a plan for the cleanup. We make a plan for tomorrow. Are we safe now? Is the property safe now? Are our lives okay? Are our people okay? Are our resources okay? We assess that damage. We make a plan. We execute the plan. You execute the plan using the people and the resources that you have. And so I don't know if that makes sense to you, but it was like a light bulb for me tonight. It was a light bulb for me tonight that we all have these tornadoes in our lives. Today, we happen to have some literal tornadoes in Georgia, but we have these figurative tornadoes in our lives all the time. And that tiny little text I got from my county that said shelter in place. You gather your people, you gather the necessities, those resources. You ride out the storm, you assess the damage, you create a plan, you execute a plan. Simple, powerful, doable. And it's doable because we have people. And I've shared this with you before. I truly believe that when we have real crisis, real trouble, when we're in a funk, what do? It's one of my favorite analogies. We act like turtles and we pull our heads and our hands and our feet into our shell and we wait for the predator to leave. But here is the problem. Then we can't see what's going on around us and the predator has gathered all their friends. And so now you're stuck in this place and you can't see and you can't move and you can't do anything, and now there are more predators. We can't do that. We've got to be able to see. We've got to reach out for help. We can't go in. We've got to reach out. We have to find those people, gather our friends, gather our family. We may have to shelter in place and ride out the storm, but together, we shine the flashlight, we assess the damage, we create a plan, we execute the plan. It's powerful stuff. I would love to hear if that makes sense to you. Is that a connection for you? I'd love to know. The comments are either live down below where we are or afterwards to one side or the other of this video. I never know. I wanted to remind you today is the last day of the Grounded Vision Gratitude Challenge. So if you want to get your name in the hat for a free month of coaching, you have some time to do that yet today. And then I've been thinking about some new things we might be able to try for next month. So you have to wait to hear about that. The last thing I want to do a shout out about is I had, I think, a pretty good idea about doing a group virtual coaching program for teachers. I know a lot of teachers feeling like really burnt out and really stressed out, and like there's all these people making policies and they're not in the classroom, and a lot of these teachers are like, man, I love my job, I love working with these kids, But gosh, there's a lot of bureaucracy and there's a lot of red tape, and it's really, really hard. And so I'm thinking about doing this coaching group experience where a bunch of teachers would come together and either explore other career options, determine if they want to make a career or job change, or, add some other things, change some other things about their lives so that they get some more fulfillment in some other areas that can help float some of the stress and cancel out some of the burnout that they're feeling in their classrooms. So if you happen to be a teacher, I have a couple questions that I'd love to ask you and get your feedback about. And if you provide me some feedback and you decide to do the virtual group coaching program, I'll cut you a discount because I'm so thankful for anybody that can give me a little feedback about that. Hi, Miss Angela. Welcome. Thank you for coming. It's so fun to have people on live. I'm glad that you both are safe. It's been scary here in Georgia today. The sirens, the really, really dark skies, crazy rain and wind. It's pretty incredible. We need the rain, but we do not need any tornadoes. So, hi, Miss Megan. Welcome. Catching you on the back end. Maybe this is a good time to do Facebook Lives. So, one last recap. We have tornadoes literally in Georgia today, figuratively in our lives all the time. What do we do when we feel like we're in the middle of a tornado and that life debris is coming around us? We shelter in place. We gather our people. We gather our family. We gather our friends. We go to a safe place. We shelter in place. We collect our necessities, the water, the flashlight, the radio, maybe some batteries. We ride out that storm. We assess the damage. Right? What is the fallout from this tornado that's been happening around us? Where is there a dark area we need to shine some light on? What is that water? What are those batteries for you that can keep you sustained? What is the radio for you where you get really good information and data about what's been happening in your life? You ride out the storm, you assess the damage, you create a plan to manage the damage, and you execute the plan with your people. Does that sound crazy? I hope not, but I'd love to hear from you. Until then, stay safe, everyone. Have a great day. Bye-bye.